Unboxing video time. Hot Toys. Third sister. Reva. So I made a boo-boo on this figure. And had to grab her on eBay. Because I dragged my butt on pre-ordering her. And she freaking sold out. She went full wait list. As in you can't even join the wait list because it's so full. So I don't know what's going on with that. I can't imagine this was a huge seller for them. Because this character was pretty divisive. The show was kind of divisive. You know, I'm going to just say that they maybe made a lot less. So this could be a valuable figure moving forward if it's got a limited run. I like how there's a Death Trooper. Anyhow, let's go through her. Box is pretty much what you'd expect from a Star Wars release. They all look kind of the same. Just got a picture of her. Internal artwork. Some more picture of her figure. Just with some Stormtrooper and Death Troopers there. They're telling you that you need this. This is how you need to display her, right? So you need 2 Storms and 2 Deaths. Alright. Alright, we'll pull her out. One thing I did notice when I peeked at her, because I bought her on eBay, I wanted to make sure that it was intact and in good condition, all that stuff, that her cloak is very gray. Which to me was a little bizarre. I'm not sure I necessarily care, but if you look at her artwork here, it's clearly black. Well, it's definitely not that gray. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I probably won't display her with this cape anyhow. Does look kind of cool though. Maybe we will. Alright, we'll get her accessories out. Alright, I just pulled her out. Her I guess this is her cape. Just tucked back behind the box, so you got to be a little careful when you pull her out. First impressions. Head sculpt is really nice. Definitely looks like her. She's a little bit thicker than I was expecting. Like, look how thick her thighs are. Alright. Put all this aside. She's quite short looking too. We might put another 1/6 scale figure up next to her so we can... No, she's definitely short. Although I suppose that's to spec for the character. I think, what's her name? Moses? I think is her name. Moses Ingram or something like that. I have to look up the actress. I can't remember. I think she's short is what I'm saying. So you got a bunch of hands in here. Looks like I'm missing one. Did I knock it out? Oh, bother. Have to figure out what's going on with that. I know it was in here, so I'm not going to fret about it too much. We did kind of look at some of this stuff anyway, so. Here's her stand. Reva, the third sister. Pretty basic. A lot of Star Wars figures have the same stand with the... I don't know what you would call this flooring, but it could definitely be in like an Imperial base or a ship. It's very Imperial looking. One thing right off the bat I can tell you is kind of stupid. She does not need a waist grabber. She needs a crotch grabber. I can tell you right off the bat this is not going to work for this figure. Like, I'll even prove it. I'll put my money where my mouth is, right? So even if we extend it up, it just... Yeah, it's going to look like crap. And it's going to dig into this soft breastplate that she's wearing. I would not use this for this figure. I'm just going to say that right now. I'd take this out and get a crotch grabber. And just set her in it. That's dumb. I don't know why they put that in there. Like, I mean, we can just stick it around her and I'll show you what I'm saying. Because it's going to grab her really tight. Look at that. Like, you do not want that. So you're displaying her in there. Look at that. Nope. Bad idea. And you know, that's as far down as it can go because she's such a short character. Yep. Don't use that. Look at that. It's already leaving a little dent. Smooth it over. All right, it's gone. Yeah, don't use this. I think it'd be pretty easy to just get a crotch grabber and slide it into this stand. Yeah, but don't use this one. That's stupid. I don't know why they included that with this figure. I'm certainly not going to be using it. So we got your normal array of lightsabers. You've got the two, since it's a double-sided lightsaber, you've got the two, like, movement. It's a little bit darker on one side than the other, so it's kind of showing that it's the lightsaber moving in a single direction. And then you have your two regular lightsaber hilts. Got a bunch of, I'm sorry, not hilts, lightsaber blades. These are the hilts. You've got a bunch of hilts. This is the electric one, which plugs into this box with a USB-C? I don't remember. It's the newest one. I'm old school, guys. I remember when there were no cell phones. Okay, maybe I'm not that old. And she's got a little clip here to put on that box, and I think you clip it to her. We'll have to see if this looks decent. I'm going to go with it probably doesn't. They haven't been that great. They look worse than the ones with batteries, in my opinion. So you've got one that's not plug-in, and then you've got a half or broken lightsaber hilt. This might be the fully broken lightsaber hilt right here. So you got, what's that, 4 hilts to choose from. These might be the coolest accessories that come with this figure. You've got a little Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just goes into this stand and she can hold it in her hand. It really looks like Ewan McGregor too, like, which is kind of cool for that scale that you could just straight tell who it is. And then you've got, I think this is the 5th brother, one of the brother inquisitors, who they've teased, but I don't know if they're gonna make at this point. I'd buy it, but I kind of get everything Star Wars. I'm gross like that. You've got some various extra wrist pegs, which is nice just in case you bust one. I'm not really sure what this little piece is. Oh, this is for her lightsaber. It's a little knob that goes on the lightsaber to hook into her belt. Right there. So it slides in right there. Alright. I guess we'll do a little posing. I gotta go get a USB. Man. I'm gonna be pissed if that hand is missing. I know I saw it. I wonder if I bumped it out of the box when I opened her before. Yeah, because there's space for 4. This is like a sort of a, I don't know, force hand. Alright. We'll figure it out. Do some posing. Alright, I have a few gripes about this figure at the moment. Maybe there's some tomfoolery going on, because I've watched another review or two on her already, and mine seems different somehow. I don't know. But first of all, I'm not seeing a way you're supposed to mount this little box on her, because this belt is part of her outfit. It's a solid piece. There's nowhere to clip this on her belt unless you use this stupid, this is the cloak, this stupid piece of cloth right here, which is, I guess, supposed to represent a bandage, which I shall be using that, because that's, like, I would say arguably one of the worst parts of the stupid show, is how she got stabbed in the gut by Darth Vader and proceeded to just throw a bandage on it and go about her merry business. I won't be displaying her that way. That is stupid. So yeah, I'm not sure how this is supposed to anchor on her. If you were to anchor it, it's quite a bit of tucking too. You got to tuck it on her gauntlet and then up under her shoulder pad, which is just on there by Velcro, if I'm not mistaken. And then back behind. Yeah, so I don't know how to mount this. That's a little bit weird. Also, mine seems broken. Let's see if you can see this. Yeah, you can see this little piece. Looks like it's broken there. And it doesn't, it just kind of sits in this box. It's very loosey-goosey. So I don't like that either. I suppose it doesn't matter once you get the figure displayed and stuff. But that's that. Now check out these lightsabers, though. They're actually a lot brighter than I was anticipating. Let's see if she'll stand up on her own here. We'll pop this light really quick. Maybe it'll help. Yeah, so I don't like how it's sort of really bright at the hilt and then at the tip here. But it's bright. I'll take it. It's not terrible. And the fact that it's a USB-C means that you can, you know, hook it up. You know, it doesn't look that good on camera. Is really what the problem is. But it honestly looks pretty good in person. Yeah, it just doesn't show up very good on camera. I'm honestly not... I'm not unhappy with the way the blade looks. I think it looks good. I'm trying to see if changing the angle makes a difference at all. It's lit all the way through for me. I think it'll look really good in a case. And it's not showing up too well on camera here. But yeah, I'm excited to put all these USB-C lightsabers on a switch. And you can just flick the switch and boom, your stuff is all lit up. So she kind of stands good on her own, I've noticed, which is nice because the stand they included with her is absolutely non-functional. So I need some better lighting here. Yeah, I think it's a decent figure so far. I am leaving this plastic bits around her neck just because I have to put her back in the box. She does have this ponytail that's sculpted, and I believe it's just placed in the back of her head, so that's a little fragile. It's a fragile point I would watch out for. Alright, we'll do another pose or two. Oh, I forgot to mention, I found the missing hand. I don't know what happened, but it was on the floor. It must have popped out when I looked at her previously, because it definitely wasn't this time, unless it's on video. But I've got all her hands, so that's good. Alright, I got her posed up with the, I guess you could call them movement blades. I guess you could say she's doing the, when they're spinning their lightsabers around, it goes like woo, 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 woo. So this is it with it off. This is it with it on. Again, it doesn't show up too good on camera. But that doesn't look terrible. You know, it's acceptable. I dig the look. It's sort of disappointing, unless I'm mistaken, that... Yeah, it's sort of disappointing that the only light-up hilt she has is the complete one. Though, I suppose it doesn't matter in the end, because that's probably the one you'll end up using on her, because she's got a double-sided lightsaber, so... another thing I'd like to point out, this may just be mine, because, again, I watched a couple other reviews and they didn't seem to have that issue or mentioned it, but my clenching fist hands for the lightsaber are super hard. In order to get this one on her, I had to heat it up a little bit, so it's just something to be cautious of. If you get a pair like mine that are super duper hard, just heat them up. You don't want to mess anything up on the figure. Alright, we'll do another pose. Changing my mind on the cloak a little bit here. I think it actually looks pretty good. It's got these, like, I don't know what you would call it, a tassel maybe, stick out the front. It's very much wired where it needs to be wired, so it's quite posable. Hood is wired. This part is all wired up. It honestly doesn't look bad. I apologize for the poor lighting. I really need to get a light booth. It's on the list. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this figure. I think if I was going to discuss any cons, I mean, the show itself and the figure itself could be considered a con. It's somewhat divisive. So if it's not your cup of tea, I mean, leave it to Hot Toys. They're a little dusty here. Leave it to Hot Toys to make a really high quality figure for a not so high quality character. I think as far as the figure goes, the only complaint I have is them giving you this instead of crotch grabber. I just don't see how this is going to be useful. It's also limited me in the way that I can't really dynamically pose her for you guys at this point because I don't have a crotch grabber stand handy. And she's not going to stand up on her own dynamically posed. So I apologize for that, but you get the gist. Third sister Reva. I think it's a great figure. I think it might actually be very scarce and thus valuable because I think they didn't make a lot of her. I think that's Hot Toys' new shtick. Worth pickup if you're interested in having her from the show, or if you just like Star Wars. That's kind of where I'm at. I get everything Star Wars. Sometimes too. But yeah, great figure. Really happy with her. I think she looks good. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think of her. Like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Catch you next time.